Hello, good evening. Welcome to day 15. We're halfway through our 30 days, plus the 31st day of December will be a little closing ceremony for our embodiment challenge. It is nighttime again after a full day of connection and errands and work and a little fun. I'm curious how your days have been coming along lately. I am feeling very specific tonight, and I want to bring some of the feeling I have of mystery, fantasy, desire into the connection point we have for this video. I have this idea. So, in certain kinds of embodiment practices, in something very specifically called constellations, which is a form of practice where there's a facilitator and it's a pretty structured experience. And I haven't studied it, but I've participated. And from what I gather, and I have friends who've studied it that we've chatted about. So from what I gather, there is sort of a conflict, an inner conflict that the client brings forward to the facilitator. And they talk through a bit of it. And so there's some context there between client and facilitator. And then when the facilitation happens, at least from the experiences I've had, there is sort of a privacy for the context of the unraveling that happens. And basically, the client thinks of the essence, the energy that they wish to be embodied by a person. And I believe it's that they start with the matrilineal side and then the patrilineal side. So the mother and the father. So I believe that the client walks around. And so basically, so I skipped this part. There's a circle, a gathering of individuals who come together to facilitate a constellation. And the majority of the people there are in the circle and do not know what's going to unfold. And there's a facilitator and a client. And the facilitator and the client connect around what it is that they want to facilitate. Usually it's some sort of a blockage that the client is experiencing that they'd like to see if they can go back in their family line and their ancestry to see if they can find like the core wound, the initial imprint of trauma, and then heal or integrate that in some form of way. So basically, from what I've seen it happen, there is the client that walks around and chooses the person to be the mother, and then the father, and goes behind their back, closes their eyes, and just delivers an essence or an intention or a clarity just by touch of the quality of that person. And then the person who is brought up into the center of the circle, they just listen to their body, their soma, their etheric experience, and then they start to narrate what they feel, what they notice, what they see, what they are experiencing. And then they do it for the father's side, and they find the area where there seems to be conflict, and sometimes they have to go back a bit in the ancestry if there are siblings or grandparents, and keep going back and back. And I had one where it just kept going and kept going, and people kept falling down and falling down and falling down, like there was no anything that could happen. And eventually we got to this last one, and it was from my memory basically the origin of Christianity. And feeling like they thought they were doing a good thing, and yet they're looking over and there's all these people like laying down, unable to function. So for that one, the solving of it was really just walking around and looking at what happened. It didn't feel like there was a resolution that could be made by the facilitator. The facilitator didn't feel that there was a resolution that could be made, I should say. Something about that story feels pertinent and important to so much of the work I do, also related to this connection that I have right now with a sort of essence that I'm wanting to come into connection with for tonight's embodiment. And I don't think I'm going to speak what it is. So there's a little bit of mystery there, sort of like in the constellations, you don't really know what is going to unfold. And there's a bit of like a, well, can you feel this? And then what happens from there? In my framework, I feel like I am wanting to connect to the heart. And I want to ask for whatever it is that feels so potent about this particular content that I'm bringing up and forward, that it speaks to all those who find this video, that there's something in this for you too. And we'll see what arises. Okay. I'm noticing my nose turn up and to the right, and I just got like a tinge, like a pinge, like pressure in the sinus on the right side. And this feels like nothing else is happening here. So I'm gonna do the constellation thing and stand up and stand behind me. See if I can figure out behind that experience what I feel like I'm falling backwards. Like I can't, like I feels like I'm falling backwards and that I'm not in control of it. I like my feet are coming back and I don't know what to do from there. My knees are hurting. I'm aware that I'm nervous and I want to comfort that right now. I'm aware that my feet are not planted straight. And it's like I don't have context to connection. I want to curl up in a little ball. I feel in some way, I don't know, but it's like I just had the vision, like the imaging of, I'm going to put this chair over here, of all the people from that walk just like falling down and not able to do anything but be here. And sort of like, what else do you do? I have this awareness that like, I don't know, what else do you do? I don't think anything in my experience could fix this. So I think I just need to like be here until I feel contained and then see if I can step back. Sort of like this shutdown freeze mode that I keep coming back to again and again in these walks and these sessions. And I find really interesting that I brought up that particular constellation I was talking about. Where people just kept falling to the floor, much like this position, and then there was nothing. And he just kept going back and back and back and back, and this collapse just kept happening. There's this awareness that it's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Why am I stuck here? It's like I don't quite understand. It feels like it's the atmosphere. Like the atmospheric air of culture, life, is what keeps me here. And I feel so sad about that. It's like right now I feel myself almost like holding up off of me the atmosphere that isn't compatible to life. So I'm just gonna be with this and let this evolve until it either stops or becomes something else. I'm aware that like in my mind's eye, I just saw my fingers turn into like guns and question like, do we fight back? And there's an awareness that that's not allowed. So the only option is to sort of die. And I don't know if this is over and I can step out and back of it, or if this is becoming something else, but I feel myself like turning in on myself. And I feel myself now becoming like this thing up here that like points my finger down at the me that was there and just says, it's all your fault. Don't you see that you did this to yourself? And I'm aware this is like me. This is like the psyche of this person, like this person down here who couldn't get up is this psyche that I am right now, pointing my finger, like as a defense strategy, as a coping, to be like, you're you're not valuable, you're not valued. So I have to live for you. It's like this walling off of that part. Oh God, and it breaks my heart. There's this feeling that like, I don't know what movie this is from, but it feels like some scene I've seen in a movie where it's like someone's gonna get in danger, so someone's trying to protect them and is like, don't you see, I never loved you, get out of here, get out of here, just go, you're not welcome here, I don't want you here. So they go away so they don't get hurt, because if they stayed they would not be okay. So you send them away so they don't get hurt, but they're hurting. It's like, which is worse? I don't know. I have some Kleenex. Well, where I don't want to go back to that, I want to stand behind it and see if I can go back further. Because this is so sad. Feels like the parts of ourselves that we separate so that we could make it in the world, so that we can be a functioning member of society, or how we treat certain members of our families or our communities. It's just so sad. And it feels like I don't have anything to do here except to grieve. And so I'm just gonna let myself grieve. I don't know how to fix it. It's like I want this part to be able to function. But I'm so heartbroken that this one can't. And it's so sad to me that there needs to be blame. I don't know why there needs to be the blame. And I want to step out even further. And just be aware of the grief and aware of what's happening there. And just feel a little more distant from it, so I can not have to look away and not have to fall into myself and my own process of sadness, because I feel like there's nothing but grief there, and there's nothing but blame and shut down here. I kind of want to just turn backwards and look and ask something. I don't really know what I'm asking. I'm just gonna ask for something. It's like, why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? I don't understand why you did this. And I just feel all my insides shaking. And I want to come back over here. I see myself sitting back here, sort of as the two, but asking,
Then I just see myself being quiet and moving. I feel something being held by this right arm. I feel like I can't move from this position because I'm holding something. Kind of think it's a baby, but I don't know. There's this, I want to turn away thing that's happening with the left. Like the right arm is left holding the baby and the left is trying to turn away. Say, I don't want it. You take it, I don't want it. Make it go away. Make it go away. Make it go away. I see my foot up there, so you'll see that feels like the foot here. I see myself leaning back. It feels important that I'm not all the way back. Like I need to recline. Like here. There's something about this position that feels important. I don't know why. It's like I don't know what this is or why this is here, but it feels really pivotal for some reason. I'm aware of my leg, I'm aware of my belly, aware of my skin, and like skin feels nice. Aware of like the belly feels full, filled. And I just sort of wanna, I don't know. There's something that feels nice here. It's like there's something about this feels that like I'm allowed. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm allowed, but like there. But there's something about this shape that feels like it's meant to convey that I'm allowed to experience pleasure. And then I say, make the baby go away. I have a lot of imagery just in general about different kinds of ways people work with inner child work or maturity ceremonies throughout the world that sort of it doesn't not make sense to me to think of like there needs to come a time when the child transitions. I feel like I'm almost like pulling like celestial bodies, like full universes, like throughout the passage of time right here over my lap. And I see my arm go through almost like an archer, like that way. But it wants to stay that way. Even as it comes up center, there's something that feels also really good about the reaching at the diagonal. I want to know if I can do both at the same time, because there's something satisfying about that. I'm curious what would happen if I shifted the arms. That one feels really good. Something about this right arm reaching at the upper 45-degree angle. And like, can I reach? Can I receive something? There's like something that wants to be received. And I'm not really sure if I'm receiving it or not, but it's certainly coming closer. Not sure what this left arm is doing, but it feels like it has a purpose or a position or a job that it's really clear that it's taking on. Something about this left arm feels like it's working on the hinge of itself. And I'm aware that in the embodiment series we've been having, this left arm has been coming up a lot as like overly taxed and used and presentational and of service. And oh, my left ear just went like that inside when I was saying that. So I don't know if there's something. It feels like there's something over here for that. Maybe that pulling in. It was over there before. Now it feels like it's back here. Something to receive and pull in. This feels like catching a baby. But like there feels like there's more nourishment on this left side this time of like receiving it. And the right arm is still there to like support. But the left side is now like willing to connect. That willingness to connect piece. Oh, whoa, something. I don't know what that was. I want to shake it off now. I want to get it off of me now. It's like, I want to say, I don't want this. 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 Don't want this. And I'm like, what don't you want? And my eyes come in again to get cloudy. And it's like, can I just be with the quietness here? And then I want to come back down to this piece, this space of like where all the grief was, and just like, I don't know, I feel my hands are like little pinchers. And I feel really upwardly extended again at that 45-degree angle. I want to be like, why? Why? Feels like I'm looking there, but I'm asking that same quality, that same thing as I turned my back and looked back and asked before. And I want to receive the why. It feels so important. I don't know that it is, but it feels like it is. There's something about saying I don't know that it is feels important too. Like, I don't know that this is important to ask why and to look up. Maybe it's not. And I have in my mind's eye the vision of the mother saying, I don't want this. It needs to be okay that I don't want this. And what comes up is like, I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be overworked. I don't want to be mistreated. I don't want to be held in captivity. I don't want this life. I don't want it like this. What option do I have but to fall down? This isn't a life. This is a prison. It's like in my brain right now, I was just like scrambled. Like, why does anybody choose? Why does anybody choose? Why does anyone choose family from this place in this expressive experience? I want to ask that. Why does anybody choose family? Because I don't know why. Because I don't want this. And I just want to be like, get the out of here. Like, get out of here. I said no. It's an energy that comes up a lot too in previous iterations of work that I do that just feels like this distillation of so much power and like ferocity and no and awareness to focus like a singular eye and destroy. Like just like watching a tower fall. It's like in tarot, the tower card. It's just like, it's like that. you build too high, like the Tower of Babel, right? And then it comes falling down. I'm aware of the Twin Towers too, as also being a parallel image. And something about this is like, as it falls, like all through the wreckage, it's just sort of like I want to peel back all of the cloud and debris and look at this area again of all this that's played out here in front of us. And I want to turn my arms up and open. I want to stand. I kind of want to stand up on top of it. We'll shift the frame and then I don't know how long I'll be up there. We'll see. And I just want to stand up here, like one leg on one side and one leg on the other side. And just drink it in. Like as the destroyer. I don't know what I'm doing, but it feels like mixing or stirring. Where it's also like a figure eight, or like infinity sign. And I kind of want to come down now. My hands forward. And just understand that this is who I am. The destroyer. Almost like a wing coming up and back. I feel like I'm holding two heavy weighted, like marble balls on either side of my hands. And I'm aware of my heart space, my chest open, my strong spine, my pelvis weighted. And like the ability to be with them both. And I want to like shoot middle fingers up over that direction, and say, stay the bleep away from me. Do not want you in my life. I reclaim what you have broken. I invite up from this space, this body down here. I want to infuse this body that was in shutdown with whatever it needs. And so we'll just be here with it till it feels like it receives what it needs. There's this like, I will not live for you that it wants to say. I will not live for you. I will live for me. I will not live for you. 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 And it's like, get out of my life, of my body, of my soul. Get out. I said go. And then I felt like myself again all of a sudden when I dove into those pillows, and that felt good. Okay, here we go. We went back. This is energy dynamics I've been working with for a really long time. They are very universal, they are very collective, they are very loaded and archetypal patterns. I'm going to let you read into it, whatever you read into it, and let it be like a piece of art. I have my own interpretation and my own path and pattern I'm going to be shifting and sorting through to integrate that into my life. It matches and parallels a lot of other work that I've done and I've been doing as coming full circle in certain ways. Yeah, if you're here and that didn't scare you or terrify you or make you feel like what the hell is this, then you might be my people, and it might be really nice to work together. So yeah, so let me know if that's you. All the stuff for the ways to connect are down in the thing, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here.